This is Bishop Dr. Truman Berst. Master Herbalist, coming to you from Good Shepherd Ministries.
Now that we are just getting started here, and I'm looking around to make sure and see if I see Brother Pastor Elijah, and you know what? He's not in the room yet. So I'm sure he'll be right along. But let me get him some of this tea. All right, and so we'll get started here. I am Bishop Dr. Truman Berst. I'm a master herbalist, chartered herbalist, master of herbology. I'm an ordained minister and a certified bishop, and I love the Lord. And the Lord has had me invent 14,000 natural remedies and a complete system that's free to go to and look at all the massive amount of research that I've done in those 57 years and distilled it all down into a website that gives you make lifestyle changes reports so that you can know the best the best things that you can do to improve your health. There's over 250 reports there, and with live videos, about 200 of those now. We're still posting them up and trying to catch up. That's just on that one website, but there's also another 400 or so on YouTube. So we've just got a lot of free website information with all these reports. And when you're looking at the reports, you can click on a product in the report. It will take you over to the manufacturer where you can see the directions and the dosage. So all of this creates this complete and massive system that is educating people more so than ever. There's never been anything like this before, because no one has created 14,000 natural remedies and a website that guides you through how to get that prostate working again, how to get rid of that inflammation, how to work with gout, and every remedy that you can imagine. There's information about it, and if you don't see what you're looking for, then like torn rotator cuff, a torn rotator cuff or something like that. Well, just get on this broadcast and ask about it, and we'll give you some live research information about what to do. For these are old and new remedies. This is the latest research on how to not go into surgery if you've got a torn rotator cuff. How to if you've got a 3-week-old infant that is not building any red blood cells, what to do? Who's going to tell you? Well, the doctors don't know what to do. They just keep giving one transfusion after another to this infant. Well, there are things that we can do, and these are the things that I daily deal with and research, and then I am coaching people because they don't know how to use these. They don't know what to do, and with a natural remedy that is going to help to build more red blood cells. You see, the problem is, to start with, usually the mom is anemic to start with, and then has a child, and it's not corrected. That's passed on to the child. The child is, building the infant is building red blood cells, or trying to, in this case, not even trying. And this, so this is where the mom went into pregnancy, knowing that usually, because this is baby number 4, knowing that usually she, late term anemia, and instead of using B12 and folic acid and anemia formula number 1015 to build and get rid of the anemia in herself, she passed this weakness on to the baby. Now this infant is struggling, and these are things that I need to do research on immediately. And I do this immediately. I have to come up with these answers. So over the years, I've gotten better and better at finding and researching reports and putting my fingers on remedies quickly. But that's one thing, to be able to put your fingers on remedies quickly. But the other thing is to make sure that you look at all of the things that are going on, because if there's anemia, what else is going on? Is there a problem with the liver, the kidneys, the lungs? So you ask a lot of questions. It's not really simple, but the Lord has given me the education. I'm also a graduate ethnobotanist and phytotherapist with 2 PhDs. So I've got the education and the background and the love of humanity to try to help. And I found that it's working wonderfully. People are getting help all over the world, and they're not having to go to a doctor to do it. They're finding out about the natural remedies that they can get a hold of to correct the problem, and the body will heal itself. And we're seeing miracles after miracles. I keep hearing from people that don't have prostate problems anymore. Fibroid tumors gone in 30 days, and you don't have to worry about surgery. Those fibroid tumors, they're cutting them out, and they're coming back. But when you use the herbal remedy and you get rid of a fibroid tumor, it doesn't come back. They're not coming back. But people aren't hearing about these wonderful natural remedies that are helping people. And they're people just, this kind of information is just not available. So that's why I'm doing this, because nobody else is. There's nothing like it. 2 websites, one with all the information and it's free, and it's got all these videos and everything's free. Yeah, that's why nobody's done it, because nobody wants to do anything for free. And how did I accomplish it? Am I wealthy? No, I paid for it brick by brick. I paid for it with my Social Security income. Every penny I ever got went into building a system to educate humanity about natural remedies, because I saw that humanity, everybody, all my relatives and friends and everybody, go to these medical doctors, and these doctors lead them down a merry path, coming back over and over and over and over again, and getting them all these drugs and medications, and they get worse. They have more symptoms, more diseases. The United States has got one of the sickest nations in the world. Everybody's running to the doctor. Hello, the doctors have purposely done this to man, because why have they done it? For the money. That's what they did it for. That's what the pharmaceutical industry has done it for. That's what the MDs are doing it for. That's why they do chemotherapy. They know kills people, for the money. And that's the problem, folks. And that's why you don't hear about this, because people like me then are vilified, and the government chases you around and harasses and intimidates and threatens until finally you wind up in a federal court, and then you get defeated. But in my case, that didn't happen. When I got into a federal court, a federal judge told the FDA to leave me alone, because the FDA is part of a horrible, horrible system that is keeping people sick and creating the sickest nation in the world. But it's making the doctors rich, the pharmaceutical industry rich, and that's why they do it. And even the federal government is in on this, because that's what the FDA is. You see, it's been like that, since the beginning of time. Anybody who threatens the status quo of the people with all the money, the government, the pharmaceutical industry, well, they're vilified, they're prosecuted and intimidated. That's why you don't hear about people doing what I do. Nobody that I know of would want to do this, because you're intimidated constantly, you're threatened, and you don't have any money. Nobody donates, anything to where you could really do something with this. It's a system where you give your heart out day after day, and you struggle to pay the rent month after month, because you don't have anyone with wealth that is interested in this kind of system, because it don't normally exist. I've only escaped the intimidation and the harassment and the vilification of the federal government. I'm totally a different sort of thing that not supposed to happen. That's why we're here. That's why I'm here, and that's why I'm here every Thursday doing this broadcast. And this broadcast is a discussion. So be sure and know that you can press your start key on your telephone, and you can ask questions and suggest what we talk about. We don't diagnose, we don't prescribe, because that's what you do with drugs. We don't use drugs or chemicals. What I advocate using are the natural foods, natural remedies that our Father in heaven created. And he didn't create GMO, and he didn't create isolated chemicals and then call them vaccines and pump 14 of them at a time in some kind of an infant. That is That is insanity to do that, and they do that. And then these kids get autistic and they get sick later, and that's the plan. Get them sick, keep them sick, and take all their money. And that is the most ruthless system of medicine that you could ever dream of or have a nightmare of, in that case. And that's what's going on here. So that's why I'm here. And again, my name is Bishop Dr. Truman Berst. I'm a graduate ethnobotanist and phytotherapist with 2 PhDs. I'm a master herbalist, chartered herbalist, master of herbology, and I'm an ordained minister and a certified bishop. And I've created 14,000 natural remedies in 57 years and an entire system to educate people about natural remedies, including myself, that you can have as your personal coach. All you have to do is call me. I'll give you a free consultation. And my telephone number is 503-362-5899. If you'd like me to be your coach, it comes with a complete system. And I will educate you on how to be well, stay well. And you'll also, as well as me being your coach. Also, the folks at Health and Herbs in Albany, Oregon, will be your coaches as well. They will give you consultations, they'll track everything you're doing, and they'll always know what you need next. There has never been a health system with natural remedies like this anywhere ever before. And so anyway, that's the phone number, 503-362-5899 is my telephone number. My email address is the same as the website with all the free information, videos, and pages of information about cancer, diabetes, heart problems, lung problems, you name it. It's all there. It's a massive amount of work, and that's why you really need a guide, and that's why I can be your coach. Call me up, 503-362-5899. The email is Truman, Truman, at herbalhealthreview.com. That's the website also, herbalhealthreview.com. herbalhealthreview.com, and put Truman in front of it, Truman at herbalhealthreview.com, and you've got my email. But that's the website where all the information is, herbalhealthreview.com. All right, let's get started here. And it looks like we've got a mic open there in area code 208. Did you have a question or a comment or a topic?
Torn rotator cuff.
Torn rotator cuff. Okay.
Well, that's I think.
Okay, we're going to talk about torn rotator cuff. And in about 8 minutes, I'm going to have Doc Miles join us, and I know he's an expert on torn rotator cuff. So we're going to do that in about 8 minutes, and that will be our first topic. Thank you for asking about that, because that's what we're going to talk about now. But that gives us time to go over and visit with Prophet Elijah, who's over there in Pike Road, Alabama, at the Word of Life Ministry, and that's his church there. And folks, I love this man. He delivers absolutely wonderful prayer, and he's going to give us an opening prayer. And if you stick around to the end, or come back for the end, and you should, He will also give us a closing prayer. But let's visit with Prophet Elijah out there in Pike Road, Alabama. I want to give you his telephone number. His telephone number is 334-868-3881. That's 334-868-3881. Let's go visit with Prophet Elijah. Prophet Elijah, are you there, sir?
Yes, I am here.
Well, how are you?
I'm abundantly blessed, and I just want to comment on what you stated a few minutes ago about the I call it the self-help program, because there is no book that gives you step by step to get rid of infection except you on this program. It's like a self-help program.
Yes.
And that's powerful.
Yes. Well, that's what the Most High created, so because we need it so much, brother. You know, our people perish They perish. They suffer and perish for lack of knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Well,
Dave.
Yes, sir. So
James.
Go ahead.
James 1:12.
James 1:12.
I can of my own self do nothing. As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is just, because I seek not my own will, but the will of the Father which has sent me. John 5:30. Blessed is the man who perseveres on the trial, because when he has stood the test, he will receive the victor's crown. The life or higher has promised to those who love him. Most High, I am that I am. Dr. Berst and I give you all the praises this evening. We come before you with gratitude and servitude. We stand in awe of your presence. Dear Father, please make us a humble servant of people like Christ. We will lower ourselves so that you can lift us up. Remove our human understanding and wisdom and fill us with your wisdom and understanding. At this time, we ask for legions upon legions of angels from heaven in the name of Yeshua to station around us for these 2 hours and beyond. Angels of the Most High, at Yeshua's command and our command, we ask that you attack every unclean spirit. We bind the principalities, powers, ruler of darkness, spiritual wickedness, and all the strong demons in the name of Yeshua. We command all demons not to transfer, go exactly where Yeshua wants you to go. Do not come back. I counsel all demonic assignments on this ministry. Discoveries in Health with Dr. Berst in Kingston, Jamaica, Albany, Oregon, and Dr. Miles in Georgetown, Texas, Pike Road, Alabama, and all cities, states, and countries around the world. To our listeners, brothers and sisters, we are declaring the devil and his demons liars today. Through the power of the precious name of the Most High and blood, we agree with your word that the truth that you are in us and that you are greater than our enemy who wants to rule the world. You are higher. Your word and prayer are our secret weapons. We belong to you, and that fills us with a powerful I am confidence. We want to constantly dress in the spiritual armor you give us. Help us to use it to defend others from Satan's fiery darts as well. No one and nothing can snatch us away from your hand. Amen.
All praises to the Most High. Amen. Oh, great. So, Prophet Elijah, before I let you go, do you have a topic or a suggestion today?
Yes, that's one thing I do have always, because I have so many different experiences of people coming by for prayer. And I just had a young lady came to me yesterday, and she concerned because she has vaginal and rectal cancer. And she is in her late 30s, early 30s.
No.
And she's concerned. So we had to have prayer because, you know, my specialty is specific target prayer because it's needed
Yes.
in order to heal the mind, emotion, and the spirit.
Yes.
And that's one thing we're missing is neglecting the prayer that heals. And so we have to target these prayers. So that's why I have so many different people coming, so I can be able to share that with you when we talk on Thursday.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. So now we have two topics that we need to address, and that's the torn rotator cuff and vaginal and rectal cancer in a woman in her 30s. Is that right, sir?
Yes. As a matter of fact, she's 38.
38. Wow. Well. Okay. All right. So we'll get started on that, and Doc Miles should be with us real soon. And then we're going to address what is necessary to help the body to heal itself when there is a torn rotator cuff, and if we have another person that wants to know about what is done for a vaginal and rectal cancer. And please understand, we're not diagnosing or prescribing for these people. What we are doing is discussing a topic, and what they do is whatever they want to do. These people are asking to discuss a topic. We are not diagnosing or prescribing. Okay, just being clear on that, because evil loves to maintain their monopoly of your health, and that you should not have any option, and especially you should not be, according to them, trying to use natural remedies when you could be using their drugs. And that's the problem. And I believe that we just have Doc Miles, who has joined us. So again, Prophet Elijah, thank you so much. And we'll be talking to you a little bit later in the broadcast, unless you have a comment or a question, of course. So thank you again, Prophet Elijah.
You're more than welcome.
All right, so now Doc Miles has just joined us, and we have a topic suggestion today that we should talk about a torn rotator cuff. And I know, Doc, you know about torn rotator cuffs. You know about those, don't you?
Yes, sir. I've had one, and I fixed it without surgery. So,
yeah,
you know, it wasn't completely separated, but it was torn pretty bad. And my medical doctor, when he checked it out and X-rayed it, he said, "You have surgery." And I said, "No, I'll pass." So I put magnets on it. Then I took my joint support that Brittany makes up for me. Took 5 of them every day. Put my arm in a sling for 2 weeks. After that, I used it very easily. Didn't push it. And in 3 months, I was perfectly normal. And I went back and saw my medical doctor about 6 months later. He said, "How was your surgery?" And I said, "What surgery?" He said, "Dang, I knew you was going to say that."
Yeah. Now, those so folks, this is Doc Miles, and he has all kinds of remedies. He has a wonderful clinic in Georgetown, Texas. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to bring up his website for our camera. And it's theherbdoctor.net. So I'm on my way over here to theherbdoctor.net. And I'm pressing enter because you what you need, you need Doc Miles' telephone number so that you can get those magnets. Now, these magnets, are they expensive, Doc? Or, you know, what is two magnets? One, you place one on one side of the rotator cuff, the other one on the other side of the shoulder on the rotator cuffs, and those two magnets. But are they expensive?
$16 a piece, and they'll last for a long, long time.
Well, $16 each, and you need two of them. So for $32, that's going to increase the circuit. Go ahead.
I used about 4. Actually, I used 2 on one side, 2 on the other side to make sure I had the whole area covered.
Ah.
And
okay.
they will last. That in 100 years, they'll still have 99% of their power.
Okay. All right.
And the ones that I have now are nickel plated, and they don't tarnish like the other ones did. The others had Teflon coating on them, so sometimes the Teflon coating would wear off, you know, or chip off or whatever. But these nickel plated, man, I love them. They're just really, really easy to clean. You know, we have the medical adhesive to put on it, you know, to place it, you know, on the right spot on your knee, your rotator cuff, wherever you have a serious issue going on with pain.
Mm-hmm.
And it speeds up the circulation, is what it does. And when you take the joint support along with it every day, that's going through your bloodstream, and then speeding up the blood flow with the magnets, and it heals really quickly. And so, because you have to have more blood to a torn site than other sites, because it has inflammation in there. And when you increase that circulation, the inflammation goes down and the pain dissipates. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's that blocked circulation that causes that pain.
That's right. That's right. And once you open those channels up to allow that blood flow to come through there, I mean, I had a person I've had a lot of people that had sciatica, and I'd find a spot on their lower back, usually on L3, L4, either on the left side or the right side, depending on where the pain was going down the leg. And I'd put a magnet there, and within 10 minutes, they didn't have that pain running down their leg anymore. Because sciatica comes from the lower back.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people don't suffer. And, oh boy, that sciatica thing, wow. That's another extremely...
The doctor wants to do surgery on that. No, I don't think so. Put a magnet on there, take the joint stuff, and just watch it go away.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. So, folks, let's give you the telephone number of Doc Miles in case you have more questions. His telephone number, he's there in Texas, Georgetown, Texas, and that telephone number is 512-868-9867. That's 512-868-9867. And Doc Miles's email address is Doc Miles, DOCMILES @outlook.com. So that's the ways to reach Doc Miles. Well, that's just that. Let's check back now with this lady who asked that question. So with the torn rotator cuff, did that give you some information there that was helpful?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna
Go ahead.
try that. It's been 6 months of excruciating pain. I mean, absolutely excruciating. And I've held off going to the doctor for the first 4 months. Then I went and was given one diagnosis. It didn't end up being that. I went to another doctor, and he said, "Well, we think it's a torn rotator cuff, so we'll have to go in and do surgery to help you." And I've been taking herbs. I've been on herbs for months, and there's sometimes I have relief, and other times it's so excruciating that I just have tears running down my face. I'm not crying, I mean sobbing or anything. the pain is just that intense.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah,
I'm going to try the magnets. I'll call Doc Miles after the show and see about ordering those.
yes, he's open there Monday through Friday, and his office hours are 9:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m.
Very good.
And that's
thank you so much.
And that's in Georgetown, Texas.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The one thing I missed, Doc Miles, you do the magnet, and then you do the sling for 2 weeks, and then you did a supplement, an herbal supplement.
I'm getting quite an echo.
Somebody else is talking. I wasn't talking.
Yeah, give me a call in the morning when I get to the office, and I will explain to you how we put the magnets on. You know, I can ship the magnets to you and ship the joint support to you, and then when you get it, I can walk you through it. You can call me and I can tell you exactly how to apply the magnets.
Thank you very much. I'll do that. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, God bless.
All right.
God bless.
And okay, so now we've helped that nice lady in Idaho, and so Doc, now we have another suggested topic today, and that is that we would talk about a female that would be dealing with vaginal and rectal cancer. So if you wanted to address that topic, and then I'll be glad to jump in there with you. You know, I'd get him into that make lifestyle changes diet, and I'd get him in, and so they'd be looking at that, and then they'd be looking at the breast and all cancer report. But Doc, you know, would you like to take that one, or would you like to take it first?
Well, what I would do is something very, very simple. I know you make an Asiac tea. The one that I get, it was made up by a medical doctor in California. He lost his license. He was shut down because he was knocking cancer out, you know, all the time, constantly. So he moved to Mexico. And then he was shipping it across the border from Mexico until he got too old to do it. And so Dr. McLean, a friend of mine in Dallas, called him and said, look, I want that recipe. I want to keep that recipe going. And so he got the recipe, and it's made in Dallas, and I ship that stuff all over the country. I have seen miraculous things happening with that special blend of Asiac tea. And it's, you know, a lot of people make it. You make it too, but this particular blend is the best I've ever seen in my whole life, because I have seen people in hospice, you know, 2 months to live, and, you know, last year, and they're totally cancer-free right now, and they're living at home, and they're fine. And, you know, she ordered another whole case just to make sure she had some. She didn't want to go back down that road again. And I even gave my horse to a friend of mine, because he fell in love with her, and I didn't have time to mess with her, so he called me about 2 months later after he had spent $500 breeding her, and he called me. He said, the vet just, you know, she had a cancer on her eye, and the vet wanted to take her eye out. I said, I don't think so. So he came over and picked up some Asiac tea, and I gave him an empty syringe without any needle. And I said, you shake it up, draw it out, and spray it on her eye twice a day, throw a little on her food. After about 5 bottles, that cancer was completely gone, and she had the most beautiful coat that hit the ground you ever saw. Completely gone. And that was a big cancer on her eye, and it's completely disappeared. And that was just remarkable. So I'm very, very, very into this particular Asiac tea because of the way that it was blended. And it's just amazing. I mean, all the Asiac tea is good. I've just had amazing results with this one. I've taken it myself. I still take it myself, you know, not as much as I did when I had the prostate cancer. But, you know, there's so many ways to deal with things, and you have to, number one, you have to purify the blood. You have to clean up the bloodstream. You have to do many, many things. You have to change your lifestyle. You have to eat the proper way and not eat trash. And, you know, take the SEAC tea and a few other things, you know, like Montana U and stuff like that, you know, the U capsules that comes out of Montana from the U tree, because the drug companies sampled that pine needle tip, which is what they make the U capsules out of, and they made a DNA of that and put it into a chemical, and they stick it in your arm. They call it chemotherapy.
Wow.
But this is the natural source, you know, where chemotherapy started.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is a magnificent product, and it really helps, you know, prostate cancer big time. And, you know, there's just so many ways to do it, but I'm really, really into this particular activity. It's just remarkable stuff.
Yes.
And that medical doctor was selling it for $100 a bottle. It's a 32-ounce bottle of liquid. We sell it for $50 a bottle. I don't make but just a few dollars off of it because I'm not trying to get rich like the medical people were, you know, the medical doctor was, but it's just an amazing product, and I sell a ton of it because it really does work.
Well,
and with the vaginal cancer and the rectal cancer, boy, that I'll be jumping all over that stuff real quick.
There you go. So, and I agree with you because we both know that SEAC or herbal formulation is and the one that you have is time proven, and that's the key here, is that you're going to find different practitioners that are going to have things that they know, and they're going to stay with it, because as long as you find something that's really working and really helping people, you know, you stay with it, and that's the way with SEAC and the formulations that I've created, and which is the reason why that I have the SEAC, that I compound the SEAC, and you know, everybody claims to have the original formulation, but then again, I was trained by an Iroquois Indian herbalist who happened to know Rene Cassi, who was who originated the SEAC herbal formula. So that's how I got privileged to my instructor knew the formula, and Rene would not give Nurse Rene Cassi would not give that formula to the Canadian government, who harassed her and so forth, and for helping people, because the people would be, she'd get up in the morning and there'd be a line of people around the block waiting to get some of that SEAC herbal tea. So yeah, it's famous, and there are, but it's when you've got a time-proven formula that you use over and over again, and you see the results, yes, and that's one of them, and that's a good one. But the rest of the story you also mentioned. The rest of the story is making sure that you're on a make lifestyle changes diet, because
right,
and that's where I created this make lifestyle change diet system, and you can see when it's all put together, because I'm up on the website herbalhealthreview.com, and that's the website, herbalhealthreview.com, and I'm in the reports, common conditions, and the first report in common conditions is make lifestyle changes, because it's that important, and it talks about starting your day, and because it's a step-by-step procedure. It's all laid out, and it's suggesting that you drink half your weight in ounces daily of pure water that has minerals in it. And you can drive it a little bit alkaline by putting a slice of lemon, and never use lemon concentrate. You want the real thing. You want a real slice of lemon or two in your 16 ounces of water that you would start your day with every day. So you know how much water to drink. And you know, and if you're if you're drinking a lot of other liquids, you know, like maybe seed milk or nut milk, you can make yourself, you know, a handful of seeds and a handful of nuts. All you need is a quart of water, and you can put your own vanilla extract in there. You can put your own stevia as a sweetener if you want, or you can use natural sweeteners like raisins and so forth, and other you know, things like xylitol, which is made from birch wood. Used to be made from corn cobs. Now they make it from birch trees. So there are natural, no sugar sweeteners like xylitol, like stevia. And so these are things that we can use in place of and get away from all this craving for sugar and sweetness. So there are ways to leverage yourself off of sweeteners. And then when you want sweeteners, well, then how about natural sweeteners like raw honey, unsulfured blackstrap molasses? You know, those are some options. And of course, again, raisins. The reason I mention raisins is because they're alkaline. And you see, disease is normally acid. And people that have vaginal and rectal cancer are too acid. So this Make Lifestyle Changes system is headed towards showing you how to have the perfect acid alkaline balance. But it starts with you know, how much water you should drink, and be sure and put some lemon in there, slice of lemon or lime. Lime is a little bit weaker than lemons, but they work. And then it says put a half a dropper full 3 times a day of B12 and folic acid drops.